I have never, in the whole time I've been doing this channel, gone in on Oleksandr Usyk. Well, that's going to change. Oleksandr Usyk is the unified heavyweight champion of the world. Oleksandr Usyk has a mandatory in Ajit Kabayel. He has legitimate contenders in the top 10 of all the sanctioning bodies, ranging from Filip Hrgovic, Lawrence Okoli, David Adelaye, Efe Ajagba, etc, etc, etc. Why on earth are you deviating from all that, all you've done in the sport? I don't begrudge you a voluntary defense. Understand that. I don't begrudge you that. If you want to fight Filip Hrgovic, go ahead and do it. If you want to fight Adelaye, go ahead and do it. If you want to fight Okoli, Yoka, etc., go ahead and do it. Right? I don't begrudge you a voluntary defense. I do begrudge you a voluntary defense. I wasn't happy with you potentially wanting to face Deontay Wilder. I wasn't happy with that. But Wilder, a former heavyweight champion, a former top-level boxer, pales into insignificance in comparison to this guy, and shame on the WBC. Shame on them.
This is what leaves a sour taste in my mouth about this fight. The sanctioning bodies are going to, and they already are, digging their own graves with stuff like this. They are digging their own graves, because the more they do stuff like this, Rico Verhoeven, no reason, no business he should be fighting for a heavyweight championship in boxing. Yes, in kickboxing, very different. Him coming over and fighting for this, and essentially his second boxing match. Rico fought a guy named Janos Finfera and knocked him out cold. I mean, like I said, it's a crossover fight. If you want to say, like, look at what all Usyk has done for the heavyweight division. He fought the best of the best. He ran laps around the division, so he deserves a fun fight. That's fine. I don't really have any problem with that. I didn't have a problem with watching Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. I said, you know what? I'm excited for the fight. I'll watch the fight. I'm excited for this fight. I'll watch the fight. The fact that it's in Giza, that's kind of crazy. I don't even know how that'll work out. I know the last destination fight the Ring did was in Times Square. Didn't really have the same kind of atmosphere as you thought it would, so who knows?
Like what Anthony Joshua did with Jake Paul. Oleksandr Usyk is probably thinking to himself, yeah, you know, I deserve it. Look what I've done. Look at what I've achieved in boxing. I deserve a little break. I deserve to pivot and do something different. And listen, I'm not against that. I'm not against that. I respect Oleksandr Usyk. If you've been watching this channel long enough, you know I've got the utmost respect for Oleksandr Usyk and all his achievements. Yep. Undisputed at the cruiserweight division, undisputed 2 times in the heavyweight division. Oleksandr Usyk is not immune to criticism. Yeah, if he's moving in a certain way, we need to call him out for what it is. Do you know what I mean? We need to call him out. That's what we're here for. If Usyk wants to go and fight kickboxers and fight wrestlers and fight unicorns, that's fine by me. Go and do it, but not for the WBC title. Allow all these other up-and-coming fighters, these hungry young lions, let them fight for the titles. Let them battle it out. And then if you decide you want to come back, listen, there's always going to be room for Oleksandr Usyk in the heavyweight division.
They used to call him the Prince of Kickboxing, and then he elevated to the King of Kickboxing. I mean, he's a very, very, very good kickboxer who's got decent hands. I can't lie to you. It's funny, yeah? When they said that AJ was going to fight Rico, I was like, I'm serious, by the way. I was like, I didn't like the idea of AJ fighting him for some weird reason, just because he's got a granite chin, he's got decent hands, he's a big lump, he's about 20 stone, 6'5", so he's a big boy. But AJ's not Oleksandr Usyk. Look, I like the idea of going to Egypt, by the way. I think it's good when boxing goes to different places in the world. I think these are events that you remember. And some of you might be right here. You're like, oh, one second. Oleksandr Usyk's done everything asked of him, whether that be as an amateur, whether that be in the cruiserweight division, and so far in the heavyweight division. Give him one. And I kind of see the argument for that. Look, I'm not saying I like it. I kind of see the argument for it. Tyson Fury had one, didn't he? Tyson Fury had a knock against Francis Ngannou as a heavyweight champion. So I don't see much difference between that and this, although that got critiqued as well. AJ, I guess, had one against Jake Paul.
But I think that this move to fight Rico, the fact that he let that WBO belt go, the fact that he's off an absolutely incredible run in the heavyweight division of 2 wins over Anthony Joshua, a win over Daniel Dubois, 2 wins over Tyson Fury, another win over Daniel Dubois. It's absolutely exceptional. And yet, I have a problem with this. Now look, a lot of people are saying he's achieved everything. He's entitled to have an easy one and do what he wants. I do agree with that statement. But where I cannot get on board with this is the fact that it is for the WBC Championship of the World. Now look, it's interesting because in the announcement, the other belts weren't mentioned. He still has the WBA and IBF titles as well, and they weren't in the announcement. So I wonder if he's let those belts go or is in the process of letting them go. Or perhaps they're going to let him do this fight, but they're not going to sanction it themselves. They'll wait till he comes back in his fight after this, if he does have one. Usyk is incredible. He has achieved everything, and he has earned the right to do what he wants. In fact, at any point in a fighter's career, they have the right to do whatever they want. But as a boxing fan, I get to comment on it. And will I watch this? Yes. I'm fine with him having this fight. I don't mind him taking on a kickboxer, especially at this stage. Usyk's 39 years old now, and I know he's looking for paydays, so fair play to him. But this should not be getting sanctioned by the WBC. This shouldn't be for the heavyweight championship of the world. I cannot accept that the next fight isn't Agit Kabayel.
But it's just remarkable. Let me get into my tweet. So I put this. I said, notice all the hate that old media gave to Floyd Mayweather when he announced in 2017 that he was going to be fighting Conor McGregor. Oh, not your tanking, right? Keep in mind that McGregor was at the peak of his career, right? He was a huge star before the Poirier loss, before Nurmagomedov lost. Like, McGregor was at the top. He had just beaten Jose Aldo and Eddie Alvarez. He was a trash talker. He was the UFC's biggest thing probably ever, right? So Floyd announced back then, weeks before the Canelo Golovkin, hey, no, guys, hey, Max, right? Before that fight was to take place, he was going to be fighting Conor McGregor. And notice all these fake people in boxing, old media, they said it was fake boxing, it was a circus, and Floyd was ruining his legacy. Ruining his legacy, they said, by fighting Conor McGregor in a crossover fight. But now, all these years later, when Tyson Fury fights Ngannou, a fight that nobody asked for, definitely didn't make more money than Floyd, right? You didn't make no Floyd Conor McGregor type of money with that fight. If anything, you lost money, right? And then now Usyk is fighting a ring glory to the pyramids fight with Verhoeven in Egypt.
You know, people were getting ready, us and, you know, not you. You were excited for Usyk versus Wilder. It was one thing to say, you're not going to fight Kabayel, you know, Italma, that'll never happen. Italma's still got to get ready for an assignment of that magnitude. But to just call up Rico Verhoeven in a kickbox, and then for the WBC to sanction it at this time. I mean, hey, they ranked Conor Ben #1 when he hadn't fought in welterweight in a while. They get Ryan Garcia off a loss, a title shot. What's letting a kickboxer who's 1-0 as a professional boxer fight for their heavyweight title of the world? Anyways, Raheem, what do you think of this Usyk taking on Rico Verhoeven?
The first thing I would like to do is change the title of this fight to Who Is This Geezer? So what is this? I don't begrudge Usyk taking a voluntary, but I thought he was going to be a voluntary boxer, a voluntary like Wilder, who a lot of people were not excited about the potential of seeing get a shot at the unified heavyweight championship, but I could make a case for having earned that real estate.
Like, he has one of the best resumes in all of boxing. You know what I mean? Like, my man, with the fewest amount of fights, like, he went and beat a whole lot of really good people. He's taken a lot of O's away and all that. I get that. But there's responsibility that comes with being a unified or an undisputed champion. And there's a line of people that want to get their shot, you know, and create history for themselves. And, you know, with the Kabayel situation, there's Fabio Wardley and there's Agit Kabayel. Those are the two top guys at heavyweight, non-debatable. That's, you know, that's not Usyk, right? It's Usyk and then those two. So I would have liked to see those two fight each other, but since Wardley's fighting Dubois and that title's already been stripped, I was kind of hoping, especially because Kabayel is coming off like a big event out in Germany.
Depending on who you are will really define how you look at this fight. Cards on the table. I don't hate it. I don't love it. certainly I'll watch. I mean, not much I won't, but I don't have a strong reaction to it, but I have seen some strong reactions to it from two different groups. One, if you're on the MMA side of things, I tend to see a little bit more enthusiasm about this. I think most of the folks on the MMA side that I've seen, again, it's very anecdotal. I've not run research. They seem to like it quite a bit. On the boxing side, they're real unhappy. They don't like this one at all. So there's a big divide between the two. Why? Well, number one, as I just mentioned, the WBC title is up for grabs. These sanctioning bodies, bro, they're just so pathetic. By what reason would you ever grant Rico Verhoeven, by the way, this will be his second pro fight in boxing ever. He has one prior to this. A world title opportunity. It just makes no sense whatsoever. And I think a lot of boxing fans, there were times where, by the way, the WBO was threatening to strip Usyk, and there were questions about, what kind of fight was he going to take. Personally, I feel like the guy has earned an opportunity to go get a payday. There are other fights for him to have taken, and what I'm seeing is that the boxing fans kind of wanted him to go down that road. They don't care about him fighting a guy who is, in all likelihood, hopelessly overmatched.